zip here with a interesting review. It's for a ship that as of yet has not come up for sale. It's only available in gold crates. Some of you know how I feel about that. But the Krasny Krym, I think that's how you pronounce it. She's basically a Svetlana class cruiser, up tier to tier 5 from tier 4. And, well, she's got some interesting things on the deck there. The double-barreled anti-aircraft editions. They do make her anti-aircraft more notable. I've shot down a few weakened aircraft that were weakened by teammates, and then they came in to attack me, and I did get some kills. So they are more effective than the tier 4 iterations anti-aircraft, but really the main show are the 130mm guns festooned around the ship, good firing arcs, just like the Svetlana. This ship is all about the guns. Unlike her tier 4 tech tree counterpart, though, this ship has a longer reload by a little bit. However, she's got considerably more range and very good accuracy. So she reload is 7.3 seconds, which is 0.3 seconds more, and that's using supplies and equipment to get her down from 8 seconds as the base. But the big deal is the 11.4 kilometer range. Fantastic with accuracy, albeit high shell arcs, but does help you shoot over islands, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. The guns traverse at 12 degrees per second once you've got all the accoutrements on the ship, and we'll get to that in a second. But basically the guns are the main show. She does have torpedoes. The Svetlana has 2 extra torpedo tubes towards the rear, which have been replaced by anti-aircraft, so that's kind of a negative, but the firing arcs are still very good on the torps. The range is a good self-defense range of 4.4 kilometers. Anybody making a run in on you, any destroyers running in on you, will have to consider your torpedoes. 3.2 K damage. I'd say 28, 27 is about the average, so she is something to be regarded with respect to close-in fighting with the torpedoes, but certainly the main show is the guns. For specialization, I've gone with the main battery traverse speed increase. You could certainly go with the anti-aircraft slower traverse speed boost. It's not a bad choice, but because I want to increase the reload speed on the guns, I definitely went with the that for equipment, for specialization rather. The camo here increases torpedo range, decreases dispersion, which is probably why she's so good at range in terms of accuracy. So you can see here I went with the reload booster, and I've got the 10% traverse boost and the 5% speed boost. This is a slow ship. She benefits greatly from the increase in speed. I did add the anti-aircraft supplies, but you could easily go with the camo increase, the stealth increase, and or the go with the hit point increase. But I went with the AA because she's supposed to have upgraded anti-aircraft. So I figure, and she does have an elite bonus skill for anti-aircraft, so I figured that's probably the best way to go. I've only been playing her for a little while, so time will tell if that was her smart move, but you can see here her long range AA is 67. It's not horrible for tier 5. I have shot down some aircraft, so that's what I went with. Moving into our first battle here. How can I describe the best way to play this ship? Support. It's all about support. She is there to help her team. This ship is best used to, like many ships on the second line, many cruisers are second line ships. However, Krasny has the really long range on her guns with accuracy. So not only is she best as a support ship, she's great, excels at distracting enemy targets. Now, so protected cruisers like the Krasny Krym here, They have guns arrayed around the ship, so in terms of keeping up sustained fire, the ripple fire, as I like to nickname it, just holding down the firing button and maneuvering around, but keeping a sustained fire on a target. This is a great way to distract and keep attention on yourself while your torpedo-laden destroyers on your team are running in to dish out some damage. You just keep up the fire and keep them shooting at you while your destroyer friend sneaks up around an island or is making a speed run and is about to pop into view. If they're already down in their gun sights focused on you, they're not going to notice the destroyer pop into view unless they start shooting, of course, while they're running in on torpedo run. But the point being, your best skill, your best strategy is to keep up firing on the red ships, keep them distracted, keep them thinking about you all the time. Two reasons. You're a tempting target because you're not super fast, although you are somewhat maneuverable, especially if you pull back on the throttle when you go into turns. You can actually swing the ship around pretty good. Definitely keep up that sustained rate of fire. That's really keep them looking at you, keep them thinking about you. If you remain spotted, not a big deal. That's why I didn't go with the camo for the supplies. One of the reasons, just I figure this ship is going to draw a lot of attention, a lot of fire, not because she's just a new ship, but because if you can keep shooting where every few seconds there's a shell going out and taking a hit, the target's going to pay attention to you, and they're going to try to fight back at you. And while they're doing that, basically somebody else is going to, hopefully, if your team's paying attention, move up and clobber them. So here I'm just looking at my poor teammate. He's about to... I can distract one, maybe two, but four red ships. That's a lot to distract. So I did okay in this battle, keeping these guys distracted, thinking about me, while the team did whatever it was that they were doing. If I remember correctly, this is a loss, but it's a good illustration of exactly what you should be doing, how you should be doing it in this ship. Against overwhelming odds, I am running away, but while I'm running away, I'm doing things like that, keeping them thinking about me and paying attention to me, and this way my team can do whatever it is that they're doing. Sometimes, of course, your team's going to be doing things like creating lots of damage and winning the game for you while you're getting blown away, or sometimes you're just going to be nipping away at the opponents. They won't take the bait, in which case they'll ignore you, and much to their peril, you can put out a lot of DPM. So it's a win-win. Just keep shooting, constantly shooting. I do enjoy ripple firing. I don't know why. I can't remember in this battle why I wasn't ripple firing as much as I normally do, which is just hold down the trigger. But I think this is pretty sure this is my third or maybe fourth battle in the ship, so I was still getting used to it, and I wanted to see what the salvos were like in terms of their overall damage output when you get a nice salvo in, which is pretty decent. So especially in AP on a broadside for any destroyer or cruisers, you're going to do some damage. So definitely it's a good way of proceeding. The ripple fire, I do think that that's the best way to distract enemies. I guess part of me here was no longer wanting to be distracting too much because I was taking a lot of heat. But actually, I guess we did go on to win this battle. So my memory is kind of spotty. I've been working on 3 different reviews, lots of clips, trying to get things together here. So, while at the same time having one of my busiest months all time at work. So, while being sick, a good chunk of the month. So, yeah, it's been a fun fun last few weeks for me. So, in any event, my faulty memory aside, this ship is a support ship. That's how she should be played. The basically in tier 5 match, you're going to be okay. Your guns are going to be decent enough. Certainly at range, you can outrange or outsnipe people at range better than most ships in her tier. When low tier in a tier 6 match, that's going to be a bit of a tougher situation. The tier 6s will wreck your ship. A lot of the tier 6s, like the Russian cruisers, especially the Molotov, the premium cruiser, as well as the Grass and other cruisers with hyper-accurate guns at range with decent rates of fire, are going to do a number on you. So playing the distraction game at tier 6, do it, but you may want to run away a bit more, stop firing, let your camo reset, pop back into the picture after you've repaired a little bit, because it's tier 6 is a bit dicey for the ship. She's an up-tiered tier 4 ship from the tech tree, and it shows at tier 6. So when you're at tier 6, play a little bit more cautiously, still distract, still take pot shots, concentrate on capping, pulling enemies away from cap by having them chase you, things like that. Certainly when you're going to do the distracting game and play the harasser, pick and choose carefully. Battleships, great to harass. Their guns are not very accurate at range, so certainly less accurate than your guns at range, so you can go ahead and you can harass them all you want. Cruisers, I'd be very cautious. Many of the tier 6 cruisers have hyper accurate guns. It would be a bad idea to distract any player that's known to be decent at tier 6 in a cruiser, because they'll probably take you out in just a few salvos. So do be warned. If you're being focused by a carrier, try to make your way over to other ships with as good or better anti-aircraft as yours, and that's their strategy there. The destroyers, you don't have to worry too much about destroyers as long as you stay on them with the guns, because you can really hurt oh yeah, app ticket. Anyway, you can really hurt the destroyers quickly with landing full salvos. Torpedoes will wreck you, so do be cautious when you're going in. Try to vary your speed, faster, slower, as well as turn into the torps if you see them coming from a range. Turn away from them if they're closer in, although you can see here I'm trying to put myself between two groups of torps while I'm launching other torps, and that destroyer just moved out of range. Maybe he'll turn in back towards me. Anyway, back to guns. Just take him out that way. And there you have it. I'm not going to go too far. See, this ship only being offered in crates does stick in my craw a little bit. I don't like gambling crates. Certainly when I bought the crates, I was trying to get this ship, but at the same time I desperately need blueprints and credits. So although I have been lucky sometimes with my crate purchases, because I've gotten more credits than a straight gold to credit exchange would have been, although that doesn't happen all the time. I certainly do get tons of blueprints, which is great. I advanced actually my blueprints. I'm at the final stages in my Fletcher for the blueprints, and I got a bunch of those, as well as enough blueprints to almost fully elite the Yamagi. So that was not money wasted at all, and plus I got the ship. So when it comes to the crates, I did get the Arkansas as well via crates, and I wasn't trying to get it. I had already gone through 20 plus crates. I was buying crates for the blueprints because really we're blueprint starved as well. It's less of an issue, but still enough of an issue that given the fact that I'm running up 5 different lines at the moment, with 2 tier 8s needing to be deleted, a tier 7 and 2 tier 9s to be deleted. So yeah, I need blueprints. So I was opening crates, looking for credits and blueprints, and I got both, and I happened to get the ship as well, which is great. I'm hoping that they offer the ship for sale to everybody. I think that all ships should be available for purchase at some point for everybody. Ships like the Aurora as a gift for pre-registration, things like that, sure, fine. They don't want to offer it for sale, I'm okay with that. That being said, anything that's in a crate should at some point go up for sale, in my opinion, and I'm hoping it does, and that's why I kind of put this review together. The ship's pretty straightforward. Have guns, will shoot at range, that's the way to use her. Torpedoes are self-defense, and I forget about credit generation. Again, the economy's broken, so we don't know what eventually premium ships will be earning, if they'll be earning more than they currently do, which I hope they will. It only makes sense that they would, but anyway, well, time will tell with respect to that. I certainly hope that this ship will come up for sale. Is this a ship to buy? No, not for everybody. This ship does, because of the playstyle, because of hanging back, you will not score tons of damage. You will probably finish off quite a few. I've gotten quite a few kills, but you won't have huge damage games all the time. This ship is a support ship, and because of that, don't expect any glory, I mean, you'll still have those games. They do happen, but they won't happen as often as, say, some destroyer or some better cruiser, like the Königsberg, for instance, is just a fantastic machine at tier 5. The Congo as well. Those ships will play the superstar role. This ship will be in the background doing its thing. You can make or break battles with this ship because of the way you can distract. Like, one of the things I do in my kamikaze a lot, especially in ranked battles, is I distract the red team. They can't shoot me very easily. I'm cruising around at 43 knots. I'm boosting up to 47, twisting and turning. They're having a hard time shooting at me, and you can bet that they're trying. And because of that, my team is doing its thing. And in ranked battles, that works really, really well. This ship, I haven't taken her into ranked battles. I probably won't because, again, you have to have a team that's going to be aware of what to do and what you're doing. So this ship is best in small team battles with a couple of friends, and you can play the distractor while they rack up some damage and some kills. It's a good team play ship. This ship's all about team play. You can play her solo. I've only ever played her solo, and I do pretty well in her. I had a little bit of a shaky start at first, but she's really crystallized. She's a decent ship. She's got some different play style because of the long range guns at her tier, so I like her for that reason. If for some reason, the usual question, if the ship was deleted from my account tomorrow, would I purchase it again? Yes, I would. Would I... If I had to choose between this ship and something else at tier 5, like the... I have a lot of fun in the Okhotnik, and I have a lot of fun in the Kamikaze, of course. If I had to choose between those ships and this ship, it's hands down this ship loses. This ship beats out the Marblehead by far. I have more fun in this ship than I do in the Texas. Not that I think the Texas is a better ship, don't get me wrong. Texas is a better ship. she can win better, but I personally have more fun playing this ship than a Texas. And quite frankly, tier 5 premium ships, especially the way the economy is right now and the fact that these ships don't earn, premium ships for me are about, right now, more about playstyle and having fun than earning credits, because my tech tree ships earn more credits. Certainly my tier 8, tier 9 tech tree ships earn a lot more credits than any of my premium ships currently. Maybe that'll change when they finally introduce tier 8 premium ships, but I'm not going to hold my breath. So I do enjoy the play style. It's challenging. I don't know what I was thinking here. I got kind of cocky here. Make a torpedo run against a battleship. Paid for it, but survived. So the don't do what Donnie Don't does, I think, is a thing in The Simpsons. Don't do what Zip just did. So that's, I mean, you certainly could, but the way I'm distracting him here is really for my teammate. I knew that that Nicholas was coming up, and if I kept that battleship's guns on me, he'd be able to make a clear torpedo run, and he did. So, same thing here. I'm going to start ripple firing, boom, 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 and just this lovely arc of fire coming in at a near constant rate. It's just a wonderful thing, and it's a good way of distracting opponents and making them hate you and want to get rid of you, and they're down in their gun sight looking, shooting at you, and ignoring the fact that there's torpedoes heading in for them from a teammate or fire coming in from behind. So distract, distract, distract. Is a ship worth going through a lot of crates to get? No, don't do that. Get the crates for blueprints and for credits. If you happen to get the ship, great. Hopefully she'll be able to be bought at some point. Cheers.